welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Very Creep, and today we're going to be watching the worst communities on Reddit. Please don't run away in disgust, but I have a Reddit account, and sometimes I use it. I'm sorry.
Reddit calls itself the front page of the internet, but scroll deep enough and you'll find horrible communities that feel more like the dark web. Today we'll look at some of the worst groups Reddit has ever seen. So my goal this year is to give you guys double the amount of videos without sacrificing quality. To do that, we got to keep growing. So 68% of you guys.
Wait, he's like a real guy. For some reason, I guess I watch a lot of VTubers. I forget that there's like real people. Now I get like real guy jump scared on every video.
Aren't subscribed, and it would mean the world to me if you didn't, and I promise to give you more.
I like the Nike hat. I had that hat.
Visual Venture. You are awesome. r/shoplifting.
Oh, let's go.
Most people feel guilty when they steal, but this subreddit turns stealing into something to be proud of. The subreddit was called Shoplifting.
Shoplifting the Reddit. When I was a kid, you know how your mom will be like, "Hey, go hang out with my mom friends' kids." Does that make sense? So I would hang out with my mom's friends' kids, and one time they shoplifted, and I got so scared that I ran away and I cried. And I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want them to get in trouble, but for some reason I was so scared I was gonna go to little kid jail.
It was like a boot camp for thieves. There were posts showing what to wear so security wouldn't notice you stealing. Another post explained how to remove security tags, and one listed the stores that were easiest to shoplift from.
Not saying I've ever done this, but I know that there's a lot of people who will scan items as other items. So they'll get like a PS5 and then they'll scan it as like shampoo. I've never done that. This is not a confession, but I'm just saying this is probably on this Reddit.
They weren't just teaching you how to steal, they were encouraging it. But soon, things started getting messy. Since anyone could join, a few people showed up just to post warnings. They tried to talk sense into the group, explaining how shoplifting was wrong. But the others didn't want to hear it. They wanted to feel good about breaking the law. So the subreddit cracked down hard. They made strict rules. The first rule was called moralizing.
Oh my God, you're not allowed to grandstand in the Reddit. If you hate shoplifting, then get out.
Here's how they explained it. Stealing is bad. We get it. Nothing else needs to be said about it, and we are all right with the morality of our actions. They even called themselves a wonderful community of allegedly corrupt and soulless individuals. This meant no preaching, no guilt tripping, no criticizing shoplifters. If you broke that rule, your post got deleted. You got banned. No second chances. But moralizing was just one rule out of 6. Another rule was about pictures. Members posted pictures of the stuff they stole.
He stole all that? Wait, that's gotta be expensive, right? I never looked at the prices at Lowe's. The only thing I've ever done at Lowe's is use Heelys there when I was younger because they had like the super slick floors, so you would just go really fast.
Stole groceries, makeup, electronics, anything they could get their hands on. But the moderators wanted the picture.
Wait, did that say GameStop?
Groceries, makeup, electronics, anything they...
Just a nice quick one from GameStop, smiley face. From Screaming Match O's. Well, I mean, they're robbing me on my refunds. I'm not saying stealing's right, but damn.
They could get their hands on. But the moderators wanted the pictures to be educational. So they made a rule called lack of information. It said all posts must now include a short description on how the items were lifted. Violation is removal of post. Then there was rule 6. It was about
yeah, I put it in my booty hole. I walked out the door with that switch tool in my booty hole. Maybe we should change the rules. Not everybody should have to share how they stole something.
Violence. Advocating violence is unacceptable. We might have criminal intent, but there is no desire to physically harm another person. The subreddit was like a support group for thieves, and members were genuinely happy. One even wrote, "This feels like a best friend group chat. I love you all so much." As messed up as that sounds, the community kept growing. At its peak, it had over 77,000 members.
Wow, that's
huge. But soon, people
huge.
outside the group started hearing about it. Major vlogs and news sites picked up the story. Obviously, the general public wasn't okay with a community teaching 77,000 people how to shoplift. Reddit had to step in. In 2000,
yeah, this is literally the Thieves Guild.
2018, Reddit updated its content policy. They added a new rule that banned users from promoting stolen goods. The shoplifting subreddit clearly broke that rule. So in March 2018, Reddit shut it down permanently. The subreddit lasted 9 years before getting banned.
Wow.
And in that time, it probably helped thousands of people get into shoplifting. This next group tried to do something good, but they ended up making a mess. r/find Boston suspects.
What?
For the sake of YouTube, we'll be calling the subreddit Find Boston Suspects, not the other word. In April 2013, a tragedy hit America hard. It happened during the Boston Marathon. Thousands were running through the streets. Suddenly, explosions went off near the finish line. Dozens were injured and some didn't make it. The FBI launched an investigation to find out who was responsible.
Make no mistake, we will get to the bottom of this.
But while the feds worked the case, some people on Reddit thought they could solve it faster than...
Okay, so they're trying to be like Batman, I guess. I think Batman's a vigilante, right? So they're just trying to like solve the case, I guess? I don't know. The only solving I've ever seen be successful is, you guys remember when they did the cicada thingy, McBobber, where everybody had to like figure out how to do it or whatever the heck that was? I think they did it on Reddit too. I don't know.
The cops. So they created a subreddit called Find Boston Suspects. But instead of helping, they became the internet's worst detectives. The group started by analyzing photos from the event.
This is like when people try to like do the Chris Hansening, if you know what I'm trying to say, and it makes things more complicated and more difficult for everybody involved.
Much of the activity on this page involved Redditors scanning over blurry and grainy images that were taken from the Boston Marathon in an attempt to find a suspect.
They zoomed in on backpacks, they circled random faces, they looked for anything suspicious. Then they started pointing fingers with very little proof. Their first suspect was a 17-year-old runner named Salah. Members of the subreddit were convinced that Salah and his coach looked suspicious. The coach had a backpack which they thought contained the devices. So the group spread their photos online, accusing them of being the suspect. Even the New York Post put Salah and his coach on the front page. But there was a big problem. Salah was completely innocent. He was so scared for his safety that he went straight to the police to clear his name. Luckily, he was able to prove that he had nothing to do with the incident. But the Find Boston Suspects community wasn't done causing trouble. On April 18th, 2013, the FBI released photos of the real suspects. But there was another problem. The photos were blurry, so the faces were hard to make out. And once again, the subreddit didn't wait. They rushed to blame someone else. The subreddit compared the blurry...
They want to solve it so bad and then be like, I did that, I did that. So now they're just like spamming, like sending out sus reports on people.
FBI photos to random people on social media.
Oh my
That's
God.
when someone brought up a man named Sunil. Sunil was a 22-year-old student who went missing a month before the incident. And just like that, the group decided he must be one of the suspects. They posted his name, they shared his photos, and they spread the accusation across the internet. To them, Sunil wasn't missing, he was hiding.
Police believe this new image from a surveillance camera shows the 22-year-old just moments after leaving his campus apartment.
Sunil's family created a Facebook page to find him, but after the rumor spread, that page was flooded with hate. They accused the family of hiding a terrorist. The harassment was so bad that the family deleted the Facebook page. Somehow, that only made things worse. Now, people were sure they were hiding something. Even journalists started repeating the rumor. One phrase started trending, "We did it, Reddit." It was what people said when Reddit cracked a big case. But they...
How many times has that happened that now they have their own slogan of "We did it, Reddit"? How many times have they done something like that crazy? Less than 3. Yeah, probably less than 3 times.
were completely wrong. On April 19th, the truth came out. The FBI found the real suspects and arrested them. Sunil was innocent. The Find Boston Suspects subreddit destroyed his reputation for nothing. After the truth came out, Sunil's family was furious. Reddit later apologized to Sunil's family. Then they banned the
Reddit, why do you do this? Just post your silly cats and I can't have cheeseburger or whatever.
Find Boston Suspects subreddit. But it was too late because of a wild internet humor. His family was humiliated.
We, knew unconvincingly that this was not Sunil, and it was just very difficult to have the events of that night unfold so aggressively.
Sadly, the story didn't end there. Even though everyone now knew Sunil had nothing to do with the incident, he was still missing. Just days later, police found Sunil lifeless near his school. That meant he wasn't even alive when the incident happened.
Oh my
The Find Boston
God.
Suspects subreddit didn't conduct an investigation. They led a witch hunt. It was horrible that two innocent people were tracked down as if they were suspects. But surprisingly, this stuff happens every day. And it could easily happen to us because data brokers sell our personal information online. You could go to any data broker website right now and buy anyone's data, which to me is honestly insane.
Guys, if you saw my data, you would scream and run away in fear. I looked up something really inappropriate yesterday or the other day, and I was so ashamed that I screenshotted it and said, I'm never going to do this again.
And if they buy yours,
My
they have
FBI
access to
agent
your
in my computer
personal
hates
information.
me.
So this actually happened to me. Some messed up people found my information online, and long story short, it was a mess. After that, I tried removing my data from every website that sold it, but there were just too many. So that's where today's sponsor, Aura,
I have a
comes
horrible
in. They
credit
scan
score.
data broker websites to find where your information is being sold. And after a few weeks, you'll notice less spam, but most importantly, if someone searches you online, they
Your
won't find
name.
you. Aura monitors
Good
the
movie,
dark
good
web
movie.
and tells you if your data was leaked. And if someone tries to open up a bank account in your name,
Is this
they
how
let
I
you
lost
know
my
right
Blizzard
away. And in
account?
the worst case scenario, they provide up to $5 million.
Someone looked up my
in
info and
identity
just
theft
took my Blizzard
insurance.
account? You can
Aura
have
even
it.
includes a VPN, antivirus, and password manager, which would have all been extremely helpful in my case. Guys, I really hope you consider Aura. If you do, go to aura.com/VV to try 14 days for free. That would be enough time for Aura to find out if your personal data is leaked. r/JB.
Whoa, wait, what the? What would that even stand for? Jurassic Is that like really sexy dinosaurs? I don't know what this is. Oh, wait, this is a PDF file, Reddit? Oh my God, I thought it was about dinosaurs.
For the sake of our channel staying
Oh
safe
my
from the YouTube hammer, we'll be
God!
calling this subreddit JB. The JB subreddit was full of creeps. Urban Dictionary
Yeah.
defines JB as a girl who is too young, but still seen as attractive. From that definition alone, it's obvious what this community was about. Members of this group posted suggestive photos of young females. A lot of the
Okay,
images were
that's
stolen from
horrible.
Instagram, Facebook, and
Yeah.
school websites. Some were even taken with hidden cameras. What these men were doing was
Ew.
disgusting.
Do you guys remember that one video I made you watch where it was that really big house in LA? And I think it was LA. And what the guy did was he was like he had two bathrooms, right? There was a guy's bathroom and a girl's bathroom. And he said, you know what? We always be looking at the ladies, so I'm gonna put a hidden camera in the men's bathroom and put a TV in the girls' bathroom so that they can see us pee. That was so weird. That was probably the weirdest video we ever watched. He was so proud. He was like, it was a huge mega house. He was like, this is gonna be revolutionary.
But they weren't hiding it, not even a little. In fact, JB was famous.
The subreddit was extremely popular on the website. So popular that it even won Subreddit of the Year.
Subreddit of the Year? Oh my God. First of all, is that an accomplishment for any Reddit? Actually, I want 90 Day Fiance subreddit to win. I love going on the 90 Day Reddit. I go on the 90 Day Reddit every night when I go to bed. I don't know what it is. I love trash TV.
In 2008 via user poll.
Let that sink in. JB won Subreddit of the Year. That means people actively voted for it.
Wow.
At one point, JB was the second most searched term on Reddit. That brings up the obvious question. How did Reddit allow this community to exist? When Reddit first launched, there were barely any rules. Users could post almost anything as long as it wasn't illegal. That's because Reddit's founders believed in
It's like they wanted like I assume they want like a free speech like platform or anybody can post anything. But I think if it's like illegal, like, yeah, that shouldn't count. But I should be able to say, hey, I don't really like mint chocolate chip ice cream, but just because I don't like the chocolate chips, but I like the mint. That shouldn't get banned.
Free speech, and they defended that belief even when it came to JB.
Reddit's general manager at the time, Eric Martin, said that while he was disturbed by this group, it's not the place of Reddit to censor the users.
Reddit bosses said having to stomach questionable subreddits like JB are part of the price of free speech on a site like this. Surprisingly, many people agreed. They were scared that if Reddit banned one community, it would start banning more, and that would kill free speech on the site. But then CNN got involved, and things got more complicated. In September 2011, a CNN reporter called Reddit out on national TV. He criticized them for hosting a community full of creeps. That report turned millions of people against JB and Reddit. You would think that would get JB banned, but the opposite happened. The CNN spotlight made JB more popular. The very next day, JB got 1.7 million views in a single day. That was the most attention the group ever received. JB seemed untouchable. Then one
oopsies, I guess.
post brought everything crashing down. In October 2011, someone uploaded a new picture to the group, but the real problem wasn't the photo. It was a comment underneath it. The user claimed they had content of the same girl, and they were willing to share it in private messages. Dozens of members reached out to him asking for the files. The post stayed up long enough for people to screenshot it, and those screenshots spread beyond Reddit.
Guys, there's so much free legal P-word out there. This is not necessary. This is bad.
That was the final straw. That was an actual crime. That night, Reddit banned JB. By 8 p.m. Eastern time, anyone who tried accessing the subreddit saw this message. The subreddit has been shut down due to threatening the structural integrity of the greater Reddit community.
Wow.
For some, the ban was long overdue. For others, it felt like the end of free speech. But looking back, it's obvious what JB really was. A community that normalized terrible behavior.
And there's probably so many people who get posted on there, like, who break up with, like, their significant other, and then they post it in, like, a revenge kind of way. So that's probably just a really bad community in general, other than, like, you know, the bad implications that we all already know. There's probably so much stuff on there that people don't even know is them.
This next Reddit community seemed like a joke, but they caused real pain to lots of innocent people. r/Herman Kane Award. This group was accused of mocking the dead. It was like they celebrated when someone passed away. Sounds insane, but if you understand how the group started, it begins to make sense. The subreddit was called Herman Kane Award. It was named after US politician Herman Kane. In early 2020, Herman Kane called the COVID pandemic fake news. Herman Kane kept attending crowded events. Weeks later, in July 2020, Herman Kane got sick and passed away soon after. 2 months later, the Herman Kane Award subreddit was created, but it wasn't made to honor how he lived. It was created to mock how he died. The goal of the subreddit was simple. It shared stories of people who denied COVID and then got infected and didn't survive.
Isn't there another Reddit that's kind of like this? It's like a leopard Reddit or something. I can't remember. I think there's like a lot of Reddits that mock people who pass away who they don't like agree with.
Each post followed a formula. You'd see a screenshot of someone down.
Yeah, what's that one? The leopard eat my face Reddit. Which one is that? Is that the one where if somebody just kind of basically gets what they critique other people for? I can't remember. What is it? Somebody probably knows.
The pandemic or refusing the vaccine. Then you'd get an update from the same person announcing they've caught the flu, and the last screenshot revealed the person's fate. If the person survived the illness, the post was labeled nominated. If they changed their mind and got vaccinated, it was labeled redemption, and if they passed away, they were awarded. That meant they received the so-called Herman Kane Award. By 2021, the media heard about the Herman Kane Award, and they called out the subreddit for being heartless. Families who lost someone would come online only to find their loved one turned into Reddit content.
Oh, so like basically the people would see that somebody they knew passed away, and then they would Google their name, and then since a lot of people go on this Reddit, this was probably like the first thing that they saw. And since they're still grieving and, you know, they're upset, it's probably really going to hurt their feelings.
But by maintaining a subreddit like this, you're cheering for it, right? You want the next story to come in. And beyond that, it's just incredibly disrespectful for the morning family.
I used to record League of
Legends
videos
defenders
on that.
said it wasn't about celebrating death. To them, it was about showing the danger of misinformation.
They only award people, right, given the Herman Kane Award to people who were actively propagating, spreading, and parading extreme misinformation.
Members of the group took things too far. They tracked down grieving family members on Facebook. Then they sent nasty messages mocking the deceased relatives. It was like they were intentionally trying to cause pain. By that point, the subreddit started
Why include other people in that? Like, it's just, why would you do that?
To seem more like a mob. The harassment got so bad that the subreddit's moderators had to intervene. They issued warnings and banned members who harassed grieving family members.
Yeah, that's awful.
However,
Leave them
many
alone.
members didn't see anything wrong with the harassment. It became a huge debate within the group. Today, this subreddit is still active and it has about 500,000 members.
There's like a lot of people that I knew, especially growing up, that I didn't agree with. But maybe they're my boss, maybe they're like my parents, or maybe it's somebody I'm related to. That doesn't mean that I can tell them what to do. And I could still be sad if they passed away, but if we have different like morals or different understandings of the way we want things done, I'm not gonna impose my feelings on them.
To some, it's a wake-up call. To most, it's none other than harassment. This next subreddit was so bad it caught the attention of federal agents.
Oh my god.
r/Darknet Markets.
The FBI has seized control of a controversial website which made buying drugs as easy as going to the store.
What? You know, every time people say that, it makes me laugh because even when I was a kid and in the US, we have the DARE contract. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like basically dare to be different. And you signed it to say that you wouldn't do drugs and you wouldn't drink alcohol as like a kid. I think I signed it in like 2nd grade or something. And they made it sound like everybody was gonna be handing out drugs. They're like, you have to say no. People are gonna be like, hey, do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want this? Ain't nobody ever offered me anything. And why would they? They spent their money on that. Why are they giving it to me?
In October 2013, the FBI shut down Silk Road. It was a website where people bought illegal stuff like substances, fake IDs, and stolen credit cards. People even ordered hitmen on Silk Road. If you want to know more about this website, check out the whole documentary I created about it. When Silk Road disappeared, it left a vacuum. Thousands of people were searching for the next place to get illegal goods. So someone created a Reddit group to solve that problem. It was called Darknet Markets.
1.6 million members? Holy crap. That's a lot. That's huge.
Darknet Markets didn't sell anything illegal, but it told you where to find it. The group was where dealers, hackers, and cyber criminals would hang out and talk about what happened on illicit marketplaces. If someone wanted to buy substances online, all they had to do was scroll through the subreddit, and they would find recommendations on the best places.
Wait, that's 51,000 law-abiding citizens.
All they had to do was scroll through the subreddit.
Okay, that's pretty funny. I'll give it up. That's pretty funny.
And they would find
nothing happening here. We're 51,000 law-abiding citizens.
Recommendations on the best places to buy from. It even had tutorials on how to spot undercover cops and how to buy illegal stuff without leaving a paper trail. And it wasn't a small group. The subreddit grew to 160,000 members.
That's a lot.
But with that many people, they weren't exactly flying under the radar. By 2015, federal agents heard about the group, so they started monitoring, waiting for what.
And you know mother suckers are joining this with their real name. You know they don't care. They just be click, 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 click. And now they know. Now they know who's on here.
One person to slip up so they could swoop in. In 2015, the feds made a move. They sent Reddit an order demanding personal information for 5 members of the Darknet Markets group. Those users were linked to a new black market called Evolution, and the FBI wanted to arrest them. Reddit wouldn't say if they gave the FBI the information or not. They stayed totally silent. After the request, the community panicked. People stopped posting, activity dropped fast. Then in 2018, 3 years after the FBI's request, Reddit updated its policy. The new policy banned users from promoting illegal goods and services. Darknet Markets was clearly breaking that rule.
They just always be adding new stuff. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing that too. Like I was in the Discord yesterday and the only rule on the Discord is don't be a jerk. And I was like, I should probably fix that. So guys, don't do anything bad in there. I need to fix the rules before you get on it.
So in March 2018, Reddit banned them. This next subreddit created a problem for the entire world. r/deepfakes.
Oh no.
The subreddit changed the internet forever, but not in a good way. The group was created by a Reddit user who went by the name Deepfakes. And in 2017...
Oh wait, it's based off of the name that he had on his account? I didn't know that.
When teen, he discovered a creepy new way to use AI. He would take the faces of female celebrities and put them onto adult videos.
This is only gonna get worse. I've literally been seeing the videos where there's like AI pretend influencers. Have you guys seen that? I want to show it to you because some of them are kind of funny. Like this one guy, he was like, I'm gonna do a flip into the volcano. Let's go, everybody. And there was like an AI guy who did a flip into like hot lava and he goes, ah!
The results were so realistic, people thought the videos were real.
It's very difficult to convince people that that isn't you, because if it looks like you, it might as well be you.
Soon, the Reddit user created a Reddit community to show off his work. He named it after himself, Deepfakes. And once again, for the sake of YouTube, we'll be calling it Fakes. Within 2 months, the subreddit had 15,000 members. The group was filled with AI videos of celebrities. But soon, people didn't just want to watch celebrities. They uploaded photos of real people they knew and asked for AI videos of them.
Some stuff that I saw online was people requesting deepfakes of their sister so that they can use that to blackmail them.
I don't. Sorry, I just threw up.
Requesting deepfakes of family members, of their teachers.
Eventually, that wasn't enough too. The members wanted to learn how to make the fake videos themselves. At this point, Fakes was no longer one guy's username. It became the term for inappropriate videos made using AI.
The term was born in Reddit when members of a group called Deepfake used AI to put celebrities' faces on actors.
But making fakes was hard. You needed a powerful computer and coding skills. But that was about to change. In 2018, a member of the subreddit released a software called FakeApp. FakeApp made creating fakes as easy as clicking a few buttons. Just upload the picture and let the AI do the rest. Now anyone could make a fake.
That one just looks so bad.
FakeApp spread like wildfire far beyond Reddit. On January 24th, 2018, a blog published an article exposing the subreddit. They pretty much blamed the group for kickstarting the...
Are we gonna see the same thing we saw last time, chat? Basically, blog says that this thing really bad, then 2 million more users go there and realize, guess it wasn't that bad. This is the exact same thing again!
AI video epidemic. The article went viral. People were furious and Reddit couldn't ignore it anymore. 2 weeks later, Reddit banned the fake subreddit. They also uploaded their policy to ban all involuntary inappropriate content. However, it was too late.
Whoa, what was that?
After the ban, FakeApp continued to spread. And today, Fakes blackmail is still a huge problem online. This next subreddit turned tragedy into entertaining content. r/watch people die.
You mean Instagram
Watch People
Reels
Die,
now?
or WPD, was exactly what it sounded like. It was a community where members could watch real videos of people losing their lives. The subreddit started in 2012, and the content was disturbing. Members claimed the group showed the unfiltered reality of death. But why would anyone want to watch that? One member said it wasn't a place where we laugh and make fun of people's deaths. The reason that we keep coming back is because it really shows us how precious life is.
Yeah, me when I lie.
Another claimed that watching workplace accidents made them more careful on the job.
Yeah, whatever.
But that didn't change the fact that it operated like a page filled with shock, full of videos of ordinary people losing their lives. At first, Reddit ignored WPD's shocking content. Then, in September 2018, Reddit placed the group under quarantine. That meant WPD's posts were hidden from Reddit's
so it's just like shadow banning, I guess. They shadow banned the group. That's my guess for real.
Front page. Only the group's members could see the content. Even in quarantine, WPD kept growing. By 2019, it had...
Scott said, and corn makes us realize how important sex is. Yeah, guys, I love watching corn, and it makes me realize that I really love my girlfriend.
More than 400,000 members. However, with the kind of content being shared, it was only a matter of time before WPD got in trouble. And that moment came in March 2019. In March 2019, a tragedy in New Zealand led to multiple fatalities. The attacker live streamed the incident on Facebook, and the footage quickly spread across the internet. Eventually, it reached the WPD subreddit. This was exactly the kind of video WPD existed for, so they posted it. But the footage was too graphic. And out of respect for the victims and their families, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube scrubbed it from their...
Wow, I'm honestly shocked Instagram did. Every deplorable thing I've ever heard or seen has been on Instagram Reels. Wow. I'm shocked they did that.
Platforms. But WPD didn't. While other sites took it down, WPD kept the video up, and people were furious. Internet users begged WPD to remove it out of respect for the grieving families. But WPD didn't listen. Instead, they locked the thread. Then they posted this message. The video stays up until someone censors it.
Wow! Wait, that's a huge statement. Is that not an insane statement to make? Yeah, we're not taking it down until somebody just destroys the entire Reddit. Okay.
The video is being scrubbed from major social media platforms, but hopefully Reddit believes in letting you decide for yourself whether or not you want to see unfiltered reality. At that point, it was WPD versus the world. Since WPD wouldn't...
Well, don't tell Scott Pilgrim he's not gonna feel special anymore.
budge, people put pressure on Reddit, and this time the pressure worked. A few hours after WPD posted that message, Reddit banned WPD.
Wow,
the ban was for
I guess they got
posting
what they
content
asked
that
for.
incites or glorifies violence. The ban was a long time coming, because turning people's final moments into content was just disrespectful. These Reddit communities didn't just exist. They grew because people kept watching. But when you constantly look at the worst parts of the internet, it starts to feel normal. So my friends, protect your sense of what's right and wrong, because once you lose it, it's hard to get it back.
I think I'm pretty desensitized to internet stuff. I think maybe I shouldn't have been online when I was 9 years old. That was a good video. That was interesting. I feel like I learned a lot. I didn't know a lot of the stuff came from Reddit. I guess I'm just on weird Reddits that I don't really know about the grand scope of Reddit history.